The Sony SA-RS5 surround speakers are literally everything we've wanted from Sony for a while now. If you're considering upgrading from the RS3S surrounds, or you just want to know if these are worth what Sony's asking for, then you're in the right place. I've tested the old and new surround speakers with both the HT-A5000 and the HT-A7000, as well as with the SW3 and SW5 subs. So yes, I currently have the entire Sony lineup, so I can test it all and give you the most accurate and informed review that I can. But this video is mainly on the RS5 surround speakers. We'll be covering the HT-A5000 and SW3 sub in a future video. So overall, these surround speakers just look way better out of the box. The build quality and durability of the RS5 surrounds just stand out from the previous model. Now equipped with 3 drivers and 2 passive radiators, these surrounds are capable of completing a near perfect 3D experience that's hard to find or match. Additionally, with having the upward firing speaker and dual passive radiators, there's some other features that have been added as well. There are 2 new features in particular that I think are well worth mentioning. The first is that they are totally wireless. Sony says they can go up to 10 hours without being charged, which is plenty of time for a good movie night. The only unfortunate thing about this is that it made the price go up quite a bit because, there's a built-in battery now. I can't imagine people using the batteries much while watching normal TV, but I could totally see people unplugging them and moving them closer while watching, a long-awaited movie or TV show. Next is the fact that they put an optimize button on each speaker. This may seem like a small detail, but in reality, it's actually really convenient. These speakers, like the HT-A9 system, are supposed to be very flexible with the configuration you can use. Each time you move them, the sound calibration can sound off. But by quickly being able to optimize the system, you can move them around as much as you want with very little hassle. Altogether, Sony has answered the call to make new surround speakers with just about everything we asked for. The real question is now, are they worth the $600? But before we get into my thoughts on their sound quality, I want to thank Ekster for sponsoring this video. Do you still carry an old and bulky wallet that's falling apart? Well, it might be time to replace it with something modern, smart, and extremely functional. Ekster's Parliament wallet is made with premium leather, can hold up to 12 cards, and comes in many different colors. It's super easy to access all of my cards with the quick card access button. It feels very smooth and immediately fans out my cards so I can grab the one I want. You can get a solar powered tracker to easily find your wallet if lost. 3 hours of sunshine gives you about 2 months of charge. The wallet also offers RFID protection, so you don't have to worry about thieves trying to steal your card details. Again, I can't emphasize enough how good this wallet feels and looks. It's funny, one of my best friends literally bought 2 of these right before I agreed to do the sponsorship. After seeing the wallets in person, I was immediately sold and had to get one for myself. They actually have a Father's Day sale going on right now. 20% off site-wide and 30% off and a free gift bag for orders over $150 or more. To get your own wallet today, go to shop.ekster.com/Jonah Mathis. There's also a link at the top of the description. So if you watched my unboxing video, then you know that I did a little bit of testing when I first set them up. But after testing them further, I have to say that these are honestly my favorite surrounds that I've tested to date. Running sound field optimization improves their performance tremendously, but there's some other settings that you should take a look at. These are called the sound field adjustment settings. For instance, in our living room, the couch is against the back wall and is very close to the surround speakers. I think a lot of people's setups are probably like this too, so it's nice that it can adjust the audio based on where you're sitting. The setting allows you to set how close your couch is to the soundbar or surround speakers, and if it's offset to the right, left, or directly in the middle of the soundbar. It also lets you adjust the height of the sound field. I didn't really need to mess with this much because their soundbar's like right at ear level, but it's nice that they have this setting for, different types of setups. But anyways, further into testing, I started with the HT-A5000, SW3, and RS5 surrounds. I watched a handful of different scenes from various platforms with Dolby Atmos content, and wow. What is most noticeable from just about any other system is the impressive overhead audio. It's easy to distinguish between the overhead and the surround audio, yet they go very well together and blend nicely. Thankfully, it doesn't sound like the same thing as just getting blasted from every side in every speaker driver, which unfortunately, that's how a lot of systems sound. Even with them being super close to the couch, I still had to bump their levels up to around 8. This was the best level for our room. With any combination of soundbar and subwoofer with these surround speakers, I really have no complaints at all. They sound super clear, handle a pretty wide range of frequencies with no distortion from what I could tell. I moved the RS5s around in some different configurations to see how well they could spread out the audio, And again, they do a really good job with this. I made sure to test the optimize feature each time so that I got the best results. And again, the optimize feature is so convenient. You press the button and literally 30 seconds later, the optimization process is complete, like super simple. Overall, while testing a variety of different movies and TV shows, I loved how clear and engaging it made the content. The added separation from the scene allows for so many different things to go on. It's far from overwhelming and it's just right. Of course, when setting them up yourself, you'll want to play with the settings a bit to find what works best for you. But I would strongly doubt that anyone would be dissatisfied with these surround speakers. They're awesome. And without a doubt, I would want these in my living room over any other set of surround speakers that go with a soundbar, of course. As far as testing the music, I've said it before that for Sony to really dethrone Sonos, Sony would have to make something pretty incredible. With updates to the firmware on the HT-A5000 and A7000 for better sound processing, and the RS5s together, I think they've came pretty close. If you saw my best Dolby Atmos soundbars of 2021 video, you probably saw that these two brands were fairly close in performance. The main thing that these speakers are missing is a setting to put them in a stereo or mono channel configuration. Now that may sound weird, but just hear me out. These speakers were engineered to be easily moved around. They literally have a built-in battery with up to 10 hours of playtime. The number one way I see people moving these around frequently is with music. So let's say I'm streaming music on my soundbar in the living room, but I want to step outside to my patio and grill up some burgers. I can simply unplug one of the surround speakers from power and take it outside with me. It'll keep playing up to around 30-35 feet from the soundbar. But the way the audio processing is set up with all of Sony systems is that the surround speakers are playing ambient sounds no matter what. So you usually can't hear the vocals and it's really just background music at that point. Sony needs to add a setting for this. Sonos has a setting that does exactly this. When you have the surround speakers connected to a Sonos soundbar, you can set the music playback for the surround speakers to either ambient or full mode. When you set it to full, it plays music from the surrounds as if there wasn't a soundbar connected. It plays the full range of music. If Sony added a setting like this for the RS5s, I think it would make them near perfect. But as of right now, from what I can tell, you can't do this. Moving on from that rant, another benefit of streaming music with Sony is streaming Dolby Atmos music as well as Sony 360 Reality Audio music. Reality Audio was a bit questionable back in the day when I first tested the HT-A7000, but they've really just done an amazing job improving the surround sound quality. There's not a whole lot I can say about music quality though, since I've praised the speakers so much already. They do a great job and are a great accent to either soundbar, regardless of what music you're listening to. I also don't think people are really searching out the RS5s specifically for use with music. I think the majority of people care about their performance with Dolby Atmos and DTS:X content. So what's left to know? After plugging these speakers up, it was hard to find anything I disliked about them, but I was able to come up with two things in particular. First off, I really think for most, the full wireless option is a good play in the right direction, but since I know not many people are going to be moving the system around a lot, it doesn't seem that useful, especially when I know they could have been quite a bit cheaper if they didn't have this feature. These are hard to justify when you're on a budget, but I stand by the fact that these are the best surround speakers I've ever tested with a soundbar system. And trust me, I've tested a lot of different surround speakers. The other thing I wish they'd change, again, is a setting where it sets the surrounds to a stereo or mono channel so that you can take the surround speaker somewhere else and still hear the main music playing. I think this is a really big thing. But aside from those two things, I've got to say well done to Sony. Whether or not you have the HT-A7000 or the HT-A5000, these surround speakers will pair with either soundbar perfectly. Topping it off with the SW3 or the SW5 is an extra expense of course, but either one is going to be a great option in addition to a Sony system. I don't want to get too far into that though because I have some more videos that you should look out for in the near future. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Bye.